Live.
Look at your great internet, Tom. Look at that nice internet you got. Oh, you should have never left New York. You should have never left New York.
Who collapsed harder, all those teams yesterday or my internet? Find out on GPS. It's my internet. Oh, baby. We here.
We steer
you in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is GPS. And the S stands for Spectrum. Why would you upgrade this on a Monday during work time? I know they schedule it from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m., but it's 11 a.m. and the internet still don't work. But that's what it stands for. It's a very long acronym today.
Yeah, let's, in an age where more people work from home than ever, let's go ahead and address our internet problems on the busiest work morning of the week.
Yeah, I think that makes all the sense in the world.
Smart.
But hey, Brandon, it's a good day for you. You got to be on cloud nine. As soon as the Broncos won that football game, the first thought that entered my mind was, man, he is going to be insufferable, just insufferable for maybe this entire week.
Yeah, it's your shitty internet's kind of like dampening my mood even. So
yeah, it's fair.
You can thank Spectrum for that.
Hey, okay.
Like, the Broncos getting that win though. Woo, yeah, the Eagles just got flagged again because you're cheaters, Philly. You're cheaters. Yeah, refereeing was dicey in that game. I'm not going to even lie, but come on. You were up 17-3. All right. You maybe just score some more. Just score some more points. Instead, Sean Payton made the greatest call of the year, Tom. Greatest call of the year.
Gutsy.
I mean, I was criticizing him. It was like 2 weeks ago, where they were too scared to go for it on 4th and short. They didn't take a field goal this time. Denver gets they cut the 17-3 lead down to 16-17, and he goes for 2. And I'm like, oh, we're going for 2. Just make it. And they did. So they take a 1-point lead. That's just laying it out on the table. They get a stop, then they kick a field goal, so they go up by 4 points in a game where touchdowns were hard to come by for both teams. And well, I mean, the 2 times the Eagles scored, it was really easy for them. But outside of those 2 times, like, it was a lot of defense in both games. Neither team played a full 60 minutes. Neither team's really played a full 60 minutes all season, so that made a lot of sense. But for Denver, like, to get that win over Philadelphia, like on the road where they haven't won since 1986.
Yep.
This season, it's one of those momentum shifting like victories. So yeah, I felt thrilled that Denver got it, and now they're going straight to London, and we get the Jets over there.
Yep.
So I swear to Christ, if we beat the Eagles, then lose to the Jets, I don't know what to make of it at that point. But I mean,
it'd be beautiful. Yeah. Last undefeated team, last winless team. And I'm technically the Bills are the last undefeated, not anymore. But you beat an undefeated team and then you lose to a winless team. I think that's honestly, based off of yesterday is where the NFL is heading, because good God, man, the amount of upsets yesterday was insane. And talking about the Eagles specifically, I'm curious on your take because Bo was really good in the fourth quarter because that offense couldn't do a whole lot throughout that entire game.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until the fourth quarter that really started to get things going. And you could talk about the flags, right? And you even said so yourself. Like, there's definitely some questionable flags of like, I don't know if you call those or, potential some non-calls. But the Eagles have shown up and have looked like the same team for the past few weeks and have been getting away with it. Right, in which they're showing up, they're not playing four quarters of football, and it's like you said, they were out to this pretty good lead, right? And unfortunately, they took their foot off of the gas, and at the end, it finally bit them. They could have lost to the Rams, right? They almost lost to the Rams, and now, like with the Broncos showing up the way that the Buccaneers were another team, right? They didn't show up for that second half, and now you just had the Broncos take advantage. And I think it's because of your defense, because Nick Bonito, holy God, man. I mean, he is just having an insane season, like incredible. So do you attribute the win yesterday to Bo Nix showing up in the fourth? Is it the defense kind of keeping you around in the game? Is it the Eagles taking their foot off the gas? Where are you at in terms of gauging this win?
I'm going to go outside the box there. And I'm going to say it's their consistency in the run game. Finally. Okay.
It was good.
It's been getting better every week this year. And Sean Payton stayed committed to running the football. They kept running the football when they were trailing. J.K. Dobbins has been flipping awesome. They outgained the Eagles. I think it's 130 rushing yards to Philly's 45. So I think that's a big part of it. Staying consistent with that. I think that helped Bo Nix later. There were, and like so many frustrating times if a team loses, it's their team kind of getting in their own way. And the Broncos were doing that in the first half. There were missed opportunities. Then there were penalties when they started to get close to scoring, where they took themselves out of field goal range. Yeah. I think twice in that game. So it's limiting those mistakes. Denver was penalized 12 times in this game. So like they've been a little sloppy too. But I think having the consistency of that run game, and then of course the defense keeping them in the game is huge. And Nick Bonito, he came in very clutch late in the game, as did so many players, I think, like on the Broncos defensive side of the ball. But one interesting stat here for Bonito. He now leads the league in sacks with 7. He's first in pressures with 31.
Yep.
Second in quickness, but he's 25th in pass rush snaps. So like those first two mean every time he gets an opportunity, he's arguably more effective than any pass rusher on earth right now. So that's part of it. And then also, I think the reliability of Cortland Sutton in the receiving game. Couple third downs late in this game. Sutton gets incredible incredible catch. I think that was on 3rd and 6. And then creativity, I think, in play calling once they got into the red zone and, and then going for the 2. Going for the 2.
Going for 2, man. And I mean, like, if you're the Broncos in that situation, like, it's gutsy as hell, but it makes sense, right? Especially if your offense is, like, struggling to move the ball a little bit and you're like, who the hell knows what this is going to look like? Then obviously you kick that field goal in the next series because you could have won that game on that next series, right, if you converted that 3rd down. But being able to go up them by 5, it makes a huge difference in that game. And listen, you talk about penalties. Good God, the Eagles were not without their own penalties yesterday because they were shooting themselves in the foot when flags were being called. The Zach Bond one, I think you can kind of look at that and go, that one little soft there. But I don't think that takes away from the Broncos win because, again, like that was a team effort of the offense coming alive in the fourth quarter, the defense keeping them in that game the entirety of the time. There was 2 back-to-back drives that the Eagles had, and they went negative yards. Like they were going backwards. Yeah. So, yeah, it's I think for the Eagles, maybe this is a little bit of a gut punch saying, all right, I need to wake up a little bit. I know that there are many many Eagles fans that have complaining over the past few weeks about their offensive coordinator. That is not going to quiet down. But you even mentioned this. I know Saquon had that big catch for a touchdown, but he was kept in check too, in terms of just like in the run game. And you have to wonder again, is that Denver's defense or is it also the Eagles just not getting Saquon involved in the run game? Because if that's an actual problem, and I know their play calling is not great on offense right now, there's some question marks here with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, 6 carries for 30 yards.
I don't know what you're doing. Like, you're giving the ball 6 times?
Yeah, our thought was like, they had A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith kind of bitching about not getting targets and receptions. So
Smith
it
had
seems
a
like
good
they
game.
tried to make those guys happy at the expense of just playing, their brand of football. Is that true? I don't know. They've got a new OC, like you mentioned. I think that takes time. You have high expectations coming off a Super Bowl victory. Their offensive line isn't as effective as it was last season.
It's not.
They lost Landon Dickerson during this game. So, I think all those things kind of just add up over time, but they got to figure out if the Eagles, and this is their first loss. They won the first 4 games. They're still good. They really do just need to figure out their run game. They get that going. I think it fixes so many other issues you might have on offense. And knowing that they did it so well last year, I think they can get back there. I think it's just about committing and then asserting their dominance in the trenches on the offensive side of the ball, which they just haven't done this season. So
they have not.
We'll see if they get there.
Yeah, but big win, man. That's a big freaking win. I mean, and the Chargers, like, talking about them, they're another team that they got shut out for 3 quarters, right? They lost against the Commanders. Now Amari and Hampton got banged up, right? Yeah. And it's like, oh no, that Chargers team that was looking really darn solid, they're starting to go down a little bit. The Chiefs are obviously playing tonight against the Jaguars, and the Raiders are. So Broncos right now, you got to be feeling pretty good, sitting pretty.
Yeah. The AFC West is getting interesting. The Chargers couldn't get out of their own way. I was watching this morning. They had a series where I think it was 2nd and 18. Herbert throws a first down, called back for a penalty. So they go to 2nd and 28. Herbert throws another first down to Keenan Allen. It comes back because of a penalty, right? Like, those series they kill your momentum. And then they couldn't stop the run. Bill Krosky had a really nice game for the Commanders. And then, they're in the red zone, and Herbert throws a ball that gets tipped, and the Commanders intercept it, and that was just like game over for the Chargers. So that door's open. Chargers and Packers, both kind of similar, where these starts to the season where you're like, holy shit, everything came together for them. And the Chargers more so because they're the offseason darling every year. And then they let us down. They usually let us down right away, the Chargers. This year,
they waited a little bit.
They kept the lie going for a while. Now, depending on how long Hampton's going to be out, they're down both their starting running backs because Najee's gone. And J.K. Dobbins looks like the second coming of Terrell Davis in Denver. So thank you, L.A., for being too stupid to give that man the money he earned for your asses last year. And you bet on Najee over J.K. And I get it, injury history with Dobbins, but he made it through all of last season. And Dobbins I am every week just appreciating that man more. It's his explosiveness, he's effective, but he is. I think the honestly, the running back he reminds me the most of is Le'Veon Bell in his ability to just wait for the blocks to develop, his patience to let the hole open, to see when something's not there and change course. Like, Bell used to do that shit with the Steelers, and it was poetic and infuriating because you're like, that guy's just sitting back there. He's just waiting. And Dobbins does the same thing. So love it.
Yeah. AFC West things are definitely opening up just a little bit. But, dude, this is a huge win for the Broncos regardless. And we'll see, obviously, like you said, they're going overseas next week against the Jets. A very winnable game, the last winless team in the NFL, because yesterday the NFL decided to go absolutely insane. there's a couple games that I have circled here.
Sure.
We could talk about the Dolphins losing to the Titans. We could talk about that. I'm sorry. Apologies. The Panthers. We could talk about the Titans and the Cardinals. We could talk about the Dolphins and the Panthers. Which one do you want to get to first, Perna?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I did a video about the worst teams in the league, Tom.
They all win except the Jets?
Freaking won. So the Titans, they were down 18. The Panthers were down 17. The Broncos were down 14. The Saints were down 11. All of those teams managed to get wins. Let's go to the Titans because they got their first win. Cam Ward got his first win as a rookie quarterback. They look to be as bad as you can be.
Sure.
And now the Cardinals are in trouble.
They are not a dark horse anymore.
Game slip away.
That kind of horse.
And maybe one of the most insane plays I've ever seen, Tom, was Cam Ward rolling out under pressure, throws it, ball is tipped, Arizona intercepts it. Arizona, with the guy without being touched, fumbles it into the end zone for the score for Tennessee. I think it was Tyler Lockett grabbed it in the end zone. And then after that, Cardinals couldn't get a couple first downs. They let Tennessee get back into it. They win on a game-ending field goal. So, like, the Titans were down as bad as they can be, and they get a huge win. I love it for Ward. I like it even for Callahan, even if, he gets fired after this season or whatever.
Sure.
And the Cardinals, a beatable team. I still thought they would win that game, and then the DeMarcado dropping the ball at the goal line, like 1 week after AD Mitchell did that same shit, like
legitimately.
At least AD was trying to change hands for a celebration. Mercado just.
Did you see the sideline video too of Gannon?
Yeah, yelling at him.
Still yelling at him, and then he hits him in the chest, and I was like, whoa! A very far cry from pew pew.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Thank God
Holy crap, Cardinal. Like that, and I mean this truly. That is one of the worst losses I've seen in a good long while in terms of a complete collapse. Like in terms of upset, the biggest upset I think you have to give to the Broncos, right? In terms of expectations heading into that game. Because even
one of the two.
Yeah, but even the Patriots, I mean, we talked about this on Friday. I talked about this in predictions. I thought that was going to be a close game. It's a divisional game. You never know. You look at back-to-back NFC West divisional games on Thursday Night Football. Those are both really, really close games. Yeah. I appreciate you. But it's the Cardinals letting that game get away from them and losing that game after a heartbreaking loss on Thursday night against the Seahawks, right? And they were able to get back into that in the fourth quarter. That loss was so horrendous. You need the DeMarcado fumble, which is it's just.
You need two of the dumbest plays I've ever seen.
Legitimately, those plays never make sense to me. And it's just, what are you doing? But then it's exactly what you said. That Cam Ward insane play that was an interception fumble that somehow resulted in a touchdown, and even that slide kick at the end for Tennessee, it barely went in. It was going over to the right. And I was like, oh my God, if he misses this after all of this. And it just seems like the Cardinals, who, we joke around like that's my dark horse every single year. This is the horse now that's getting taken out back, with a broken leg, because it is, I don't even know how you take this team seriously right now. In an NFC West, which it looked like it was going to be wide open, the only team that won this week is the 49ers, who barely have a roster that they can field right now. Yeah. And they're the only ones in the division getting a win. It is just such an epic collapse of the Cardinals. And yeah, man, that's a rough loss.
Yeah, Cardinals are going to be down bad, and they might be down bad for a while. I don't know if they can recover from this. They're down both their running backs as well right now.
Yep.
The guy coming in who was about to have a huge moment, fumbles it away for them. So that sucks.
That was bad. Did you see the Mike McDaniel walk while Sweet Caroline gets played in the background while he's walking like back to the locker room.
I saw the walk. I didn't know they had.
Sweet Caroline was going, and he is the most dejected looking coach. Who's talking about other choke jobs, because there was a few of them. The Dolphins losing to the Panthers yesterday.
Stay tuned, Vanessa. But the Dolphins. The thing that sucks for Miami is Tua played well. No picks, 3 interceptions. They got Darren Waller cooking. Waddle had over 100 yards. I was just writing about this, but they had net 19 rushing yards, the Dolphins. They had no balance. And conversely, their defense gives up over 200 to Rico Dowdle. Out of nowhere, Rico
Dowdle
dropping bombs on the Dolphins. Holy shit, Rico. I love just a guy who comes out of nowhere, and it's not just 150, not 100. It's 200 plus yards. It's just insane. So Carolina got a spark I don't think they expected. And then they hung in there. And Bryce Young,
it's all right.
They didn't give up, and they're another team that's not good, but they're fighting. They're fighting to try to win. And the different, Carolina, Tennessee, just a week ago, all these teams just looked like they were ready to fold. And they came out, they got wins, they didn't give up. And Panthers fans, Titans fans, enjoy it this week. Beating the Dolphins is not that impressive. Beating the Cardinals is not that impressive. But you got wins. A win's a win's a win, right, Tom?
Yeah, win is exactly. It is losing against the bye week. Well, and that's the thing too for the Dolphins. Their win against the Jets, they got their first win on Monday Night Football last week, and it's tough. MJ,
business internet.
They're apparently doing upgrades. Apparently, the upload speed is supposed to get better. Apparently, they downgraded because now it's 0 internet speed. But that's that. But for the Dolphins, man, it was an ugly win against the Jets last week, in which the Jets were clawing their way back into that game, and there was a ton of penalties against Jersey, and the Dolphins were able to hold on. And you're like, okay, they lost Tyreek Hill, but maybe they can build off of this. And like you said, Tua didn't even look bad.
No,
and it was
their passing game looked better, honestly, without Tyreek Hill.
So
looked better.
It just. This is another one where we talk about guys on hot seats here. Oh boy, it was it's pretty freaking rough, man. The Dolphins, I don't know where they're another team. Where do you go from here? We've been talking about McDaniels for a while, that he's going to be on a hot seat. We talk about Callahan being on a hot seat, and it just looks like they're out of answers here in Miami. It was going to be tough to rebound from losing Tyreek Hill anyway, just because it's one less target, that Tua has, but holy cow. Yeah, I don't know, Miami. Against the Panthers, I don't know. I don't know what the hell this looks like. And now in terms of the AFC East, and we'll talk about this Bills-Patriots game, it is a 2-team race, it seems, in that division. And I don't think the Dolphins are going to be part of that conversation.
You got to be able to run the ball, Miami. And we all love Devin Achane.
He had a great week last week.
Yeah, 1.6 yards per carry, though, for Achane. They gave Ollie Gordon 3 rushes. I think this is kind of game where once you get that lead, you got to get a guy like Ollie Gordon more carries. He's more of your tone-setting type back, right? Control the game that way. So I'll put that on Mike McDaniel. And I love Mike McDaniel. I don't ever want to put anything on Mike McDaniel. And, of course, we mentioned the 200 yards there. Xavier Legette caught it. He caught the pass. He scored.
Yeah.
Ted McMillan just quietly still looking really good. I think, Emeka Egbuka's having such an insane season so far as a rookie receiver, but Tet's been good for the Panthers as well. They just, they'd been losing in the process. So, I watched that. I had that game on last night, Jordan, when I was editing. I don't think I heard that part.
There's a few games to talk about still, but we could jump to that Sunday night game because, oh boy, Drake May, Stefon Diggs in his revenge game against Buffalo. He had one hell of a game. And that we streamed that game last night, and good God, that first half was a disaster for both teams. You had 4 fumbles, 3 of them going to the opposite team. You had so not only turnovers, you had so many penalties, which did not let up. That was really bad in the first half, and then you had some key penalties later, and they were all on the Bills. There was a time where the Bills had like 10 penalties, and there was none called on the Patriots. And then as the game went along, more got called on New England. But Drake Maye, some of the balls that he got out yesterday, he deserves a ton of credit, especially on some of those later drives. And that second half was a completely different game for both teams. Both offenses started to find a little bit of a groove. And the Patriots coming away with a game winner. They looked pretty good. And we've been talking about the Patriots a little bit, that the protection has been getting better for Drake Maye. It looks like the offense is starting to come to life a little bit. You had Ramondre Stevenson fumble again earlier on in that game, and it was like, oh boy, you're not going to see him. Antonio Gibson got banged up, and he fumbled the ball as well. Like it was tough going in the beginning, and I don't know if anyone was going to score a TD. But the Patriots defense deserves a ton of credit. The Bills looks like they besides all the penalties, they just couldn't get things going. That was kind of an issue. And we look to their run game again. And one of the big things has been James Cook has looked really, really good these past couple of weeks. And this past Sunday, didn't find as much of an opening as he used to.
Yeah. Drake Maye, Josh Allen. This is going to be a fun rivalry, I think, to watch. Mike Vrabel just has the Patriots playing like a good football team. Physically, right there, I like that it's transferring over, that the mentality Vrabel had when he was in Tennessee brings that back to New England. Really, I'll be doing the whole stream in an accent, Jonathan. So stay tuned. Won't be a British accent. Won't be a British accent, but it will be an accent. I think and Diggs going back into Buffalo and just having, and this is his second game back from, tearing his ACL last year and putting up 146. Like, that's impressive. It's really impressive. It's a tough situation. You've got a young quarterback, and you became
really clutch catches too.
Yeah. His most reliable target. But yeah, ugly first half. This game got fun. And when the game was on the line, Drake Maye got him in a position to win. And that's like, when you're looking at what you want from your quarterback as you move forward as a franchise, it's starting to look like, Drake Maye. We saw the flashes last year, and it was hard to evaluate because so many other things were going wrong for the Patriots. And even in their game against the Steelers, it's all those fumbles cost them a game. I think New England they're on the cusp of being for real. As Tom tries to find a better signal in his home. Hold on. Internet efforting for Tom Grossi. Yes, the Cardinals are in hell. Offense, defense, coaching, injuries. He's going. He's searching.
The internet's not back, by the way.
Yeah. Your 5G, finding that 5G spot.
Yeah, man. If you're the Bills.
What?
Now good?
Yeah, you're good.
How we sounding now?
I can hear you. You're going to be out of sync, but you're the crystal clear audio quality.
Wait, does my mouth not match up with the audio?
Not really, but that's kind of been on and off all stream. Don't even look at yourself. Just look into my eyes, Tom. Look into my eyes,
Super
Tom.
great. So great. Thank you so much, Spectrum. Appreciate you. For the Bills, I feel like you have the same concerns as you did going into the game, right? You had defense, and that has been kind of one of the weaker points throughout the start of this throughout the start of the season. And I feel like that has not been answered, because when they needed to get a stop, and you got to give a lot of credit to Drake Maye, because some of those, dude, he was dealing at times. Like he threw some really nice passes, but the lack of pass rush, That's a little problematic, right? You want him to be able to get after Drake May a little bit more frequently and actually bring him down and not just get to some of those pressures. But it's also stopping against the run. Ramondre Stevenson obviously had those 2 touchdowns after that fumble. Yeah. But yeah, it feels like the Bills, they kind of let it get away from them a little bit, just from a very undisciplined first half. Not only you have the turnovers, but you have a ton of penalties going against them. At the same time, if I'm the Bills, I'm not panicking. You hope that defense is going to get better when you get some folks back from injury. But it also, there is not a team. We were talking about this last night. There really hasn't been a team over the first 5 weeks that has been like insanely consistent for every single game. The teams that you're looking at, like the Buccaneers, right? Like they're a team that's fighting every single time. And then maybe you got like the Colts, right? Because even in their loss against the Rams, they still were good. And if it wasn't for A.D. Mitchell, they probably would have won. So yeah, the fact that the Colts are able, they had a big win yesterday and kind of got back to form. It just seems like it is a very imperfect league right now. And to the fact that we are not even done with week 5 and there's not a single undefeated team right now, I think it speaks a lot to kind of the state of the teams right now that we're dealing with.
Yeah, and I think like if you're looking at, I think right now, the Buccaneers are volatile in their wins, and they're so fun to watch because of that. And the Colts, with the same record, are a completely different team than Tampa Bay. The Colts, to me, seem like the team that's playing just the best and smartest football from offense, defense, special teams. It's like they're well coached. They're not making mistakes. They're playing as a unit, and they're not like just they destroyed the Raiders, obviously. They're not like a juggernaut, but they are just a very good football team right now. And Daniel Jones just continues to do his thing. Geno Smith, more, interceptions. One of his picks, though, was a ball that just got like tipped or just shot up into the air at the line. It's not even his fault, but it's another interception. But like, look, Danny Dimes, just so efficient. Anthony Richardson got a little work in there. Tyler Warren's been a great rookie. Jonathan Taylor, a huge part of their success so far. So yeah, I think if you're a Colts fan, get excited because they're going to win a lot of football games because they're just not playing stupid. And the Bills with those 3 turnovers, that's uncharacteristic for them. They had that streak going where they hadn't turned it over for, I forget how, because it was dating back to last season. And then they had a turnover last week. They had 3 this week. The Bills haven't really done that, and it cost them against New England. And the Raiders, you're just fucked. You are just effed.
The Raiders, you talk about, I don't know if you put them in your bad team rundown, but it's their offensive line. Geno is not playing great football right now. And it sucks because especially you look at last week and you have that performance by the defense and you have that performance by Genty, and then just to kind of get wasted, it sucks. And then you look at this past week, it just seems like this is a team that is developing. You're obviously using Geno as a stopgap, which was kind of the anticipation heading into this season. But it might be a long year for the Raiders.
You thought it was a high-end stopgap, though. Like, we thought Geno was going to come in and make the Raiders better because he was such an upgrade over, Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. And, conversely, you got Sam Darnold going toe-to-toe with Baker Mayfield in Seattle. So Seattle let Geno go, and they bring in Darnold. And it seemed like that was going to be kind of a wash because, I don't know, they just felt kind of similar to me last year. And the Seahawks lost, but they gave us the best shootout of the week, hands down, against Tampa Bay. The Seahawks, thank you, because you got cursed and you won in the most cursed-like fashion. Darnold throws the ball. It just bounces off a Buccaneer's head for Levante David, who had given up, I think, a couple touchdowns in this game. He gets the pick. Baker's won what is it, 3 or is it all 4 of their games that they've won have come in the final minute or 2 minutes of the game. Darnold was insane, though. He had, 4 passing TDs in this game?
Yeah, he just had that interception at the end.
And it's not Darnold making a bad decision. It's a ball, unfortunately, hitting a defensive lineman's head. So,
Yeah. The Buccaneers too, man. Like, they're another team. You worry about their defense a little bit, but that's like when they get Mike Evans back. Like, you have Mike Evans, Godwin, Igbuka. If you want to talk about early picks for offensive rookie of the year, he has to be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Like, Igbuka is just playing out of his mind right now. And it's just so impressive. And we talked about this heading out of the draft, that he looked like the most NFL ready. And he has proven it week in and week out. And he is just getting the lion's share of the targets. And I know the Buccaneers got some criticism when they drafted a wide receiver, but considering, Godwin was coming back from injury, Mike Evans is injured, it looks like that was very much the right decision, because there have been a lot of games that they have won because of his production.
Check. Mike. Check my mic. Tom's talking off the fucking phone, and you're complaining about my mic? Thank you, Nugget. I did check it. It's right here. It's this mic. It's this mic.
I'm streaming off my kitchen counter, and you're just like, hey, Perna, your tech is really not working so great. I have zero internet here,
Perna,
and I'm working off of 4G. And they're like, Brandon, if you could be a little bit more professional, that'd be great.
I think I was picking up my computer sound from you, but who knows?
Yeah, well, someone mentioned the roughing call before. I don't even think that was the worst roughing call of the week, because you had the Saints-Giants. Holy cow,
dude,
man.
That roughing call?
I apparently don't know football at all. Like, if we're calling that, I don't know what we're doing out here.
Dude, it was Carl Granderson hits Jackson Dart. Dart has the ball. Okay, so it's not a late hit, right? Not a late hit. Take that out of factor. Take that out of factoring in, what could be roughing. Doesn't hit him high. Doesn't hit him low. And does not land him. In fact, Carl Granderson made a significant effort to make sure he did not land on Jackson Dart, and he still got penalized. The NFL, they will never do it, but they have to eliminate that. They have to have a second set of eyes saying, look, pick up the flag. They just need to pick up the flag guy. They need one guy in the booth watching that shit with a direct line of communication to the head official, and the only words they say, they don't even give an explanation. It's just
pick it up.
Pick up the flag. Okay, no penalty.
Because you talk about insanity. Like, that was really, really bad. Like, that one, there's no justification for. Like, that is just the wrong call. And thankfully, the Saints wound up winning that game, so it doesn't wind up costing them. The other play, and this has nothing to do with a roughing, that was insane, was from the London game. Because you had the Vikings, they go and kick the freaking ball, and it bounces off the camera cable. And none of the officials notice.
Yeah.
Like, it literally just went up, and then it just went, and they're like, oh, all right, well, that's just typical Vikings kickers, I guess. But the fact that, and again, this didn't cost the Vikings, because Jordan Addison, who was benched earlier in that game, he came out and got the game-winning grab for the touchdown. But if that cost them the game, because by the rule book, I checked this after yesterday, was that it should just be a dead ball, right? Because if it hits like a camera, if it hits a wire or a cable or a video board, like, for example, the Cowboys used to have that issue, right? Where all the punts, they used to hit the video board. The play's called dead. You redo the kick. You have a nice day. So thankfully, it didn't cost them. And I say thankfully as a Packers fan, who is still the only NFC North team to lose against the Cleveland Browns. But yeah, that's a couple of plays yesterday that you look at and you go, I don't know how this is not addressed. Oh boy, sorry about that, Emily. Oh boy. Hopefully,
that's a rough stretch.
Yeah, hopefully Pupper able to recover. Hopefully, there's a path to recovery. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, it was the best game of the week, though.
Should I play a clip for Emily, Tom?
You know what? Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead. You choose.
Should I play a clip for you, Emily? I'm playing it safe. Let's ride.
That's right.
All right, I love you.
Oh, yeah, I love you.
Tell those people in your life that you love them.
That's it.
Look how much I've grown.
Height-wise, or?
As a man.
Oh, got it. Yes, very much so. Texans. I picked the Texans to win. They beat the piss out of the Ravens. Holy God. Ravens defense, you made the Texans offense look like a juggernaut. CJ Stroud, did you see all of last week about how he was like, oh, I'm getting old, I'm watching high school film and, I don't move as quick. And then he gets on the podium, he's like, guys, I was kidding. Like, those were jokes. He's like, why is this taken so seriously? Well, CJ Stroud looked like the CJ Stroud of younger or of old this past week.
Yeah, look, he had a 30-yard run. He threw 4 touchdowns. Kind of a quiet 4 touchdowns for the Texans, because I think people were just surprised at how horrible the Ravens were. Jalen Petrie had a really nice game. And hey, look, they got Xavier Hutchinson. I found this for winners and losers. This is his 3rd season with the Texans. These are his first 2 touchdowns, I believe. Jalen Noel got his first touchdown for the Texans. Petrie, couple picks in this game. And the Ravens, obviously, they got Cooper Rush in there. 3 interceptions. That's going to kill your chances. And Derrick Henry can't get the run going. 2.2 yards per carry. You are so screwed right now, Baltimore, because I don't know if Lamar's coming back next week. You're not going to get him back fast enough. And by the time he gets back, your season might be over. But the good news is that division is still winnable. Unless the Steelers just keep piling up wins, that division's winnable.
The Steelers were on a bye, and they had the best week because everybody within the division lost. So, they're sitting pretty. And for the Texans, listen, you're going up against a Lamar Jackson-less Ravens, right? So it is what it is. But the fact that their offense could actually move the ball, Stroud looked as good as he did. Like, this is something that, okay, you're just seeing signs of life. The defense, and this is why I picked the Texans to win this game, the defense I thought was going to be able to handle whatever the hell Cooper Rush was going to throw at them. They've been able to stop the run, and that's exactly what they did. So I'm not surprised that Derrick Henry couldn't get it going. It's just, I think the biggest surprise, and I know the Ravens have so many injuries, it's just how bad that defense looks, and it looks atrocious. Like, it has not been good. It hasn't looked good for 5 weeks. I know that they blew out the Browns, at least somebody does, but I don't know what you do. And in terms of the 2 teams on a bye week, I don't care about it, man. I think more just about the earlier and later bye weeks. I usually don't like the earlier ones because then you're just playing a whole lot of football without a break. But for the Packers, they needed it, so it doesn't bother me when these bye weeks are scheduled if it's within the same division.
Ravens bye week can't come soon enough.
It can't. No.
When is their bye week?
It's just a mess, dude. Yeah. Cleveland is a mess. Baltimore is a mess. And then the Steelers, they're playing well. Cincinnati, they showed some fight yesterday. There were some Lions fans who were upset. Yeah. They're like, why didn't we blow them out more?
Yeah, they had a nice garbage time performance, the Bengals. Before we get that, you went to the Vikings game. And Addison gets the game winner there, but Dylan Gabriel made his start for the Browns. Yeah, and he looked very respectable out there. That's a tough game to go to London to play a Brian Flores defense. And I commend Dylan Gabriel for simply not sharting in his pants all game. He kept him in it. And I think they got more out of him. The offense got more out of him than they have with Flacco this year. And so I feel cautiously optimistic for the Browns as they move forward through this season and see what they have in Dylan Gabriel.
And I think one of the biggest things is Judkins. I mentioned this before the game last
100%.
week, but he's been having some really nice games over these past few weeks. And it started, of course, with the Packers, where he was starting to get going later in that game. But, dude, he's been playing really well. And if they can establish a ground game, one, that's going to help, obviously, a young rookie quarterback. But two, it's also just going to give them some balance, right? And that he's not going to have to air it out all the time. So I think if you're Cleveland, while obviously you're not thrilled with how the season's going so far and just how your organization is at any given moment, if you're able to find your franchise running back flashes, it's because I don't think it's going to be competitive this year unless they make a run and come back later in the season. But this is stuff that you want to into next season and in the future. And if you found these guys to, build a team around, especially on the offense, you're doing. Actually, I don't have the kitty, but I'll move downstairs.
It doesn't have internet either.
Okay, Commanders. It's crazy when you have your healthy quarterback back. Yeah. It's insane, huh?
Yeah, UNC.
I'm so sorry, Joshua, that you're dealing with Bill Belichick in your year.
Yeah, they're Bill Belichick. He's going down in flames. Old Billy B.
It's bad.
Let's see here. Cowboys, they get another win. Not a surprise over the Jets, but an efficient victory here for Dallas. Dak Prescott.
The Jets really just had some points later.
Yeah, he continues to be good. Javonte Williams, dear God, 135 yards and a touchdown. Jets still haven't forced a turnover this season. Old New York. But guys, Dak Prescott did this without. I think the Cowboys were without all of their Tylers on the offensive line. They're down offensive linemen. No CeeDee Lamb. Dak is cooking. Are the Cowboys good? We'll see. We'll see what happens when they play a real team. But congratulations, Dallas. Spencer Rattler gets his first victory as a pro. Second revenge game against Buffalo. What, Kevin? Lost $2,000. Oh, yeah, we got this super chat, Emily. That sucks. Hang in there. Jackson Dart, little more volatile this week. Couple picks, but man, we've been talking about Rattler, right? We've been talking about him on this show. I've talked about him on my channel. He hasn't been good. I mean, he hasn't been bad. He's been good. The Saints just haven't been able to get wins. And now, old Jackson... Sorry, I'm waiting for Tom to come in. Spencer Rattler finally gets a fucking win for the Saints. Tom's back.
Yep, I'm back. And I had to go into a different room because I was on 4G. I'm still on 4G. I'm doing the best I can. Thank you so much, Spectrum. Appreciate you. Thank you. It's great.
And Taysom Hill returned from his injury from last year. But yeah, Saints get a win over the. Did you pick the Saints to beat them, Tom?
So this was my one regret of the week because when I was talking about it in predictions, I was like, Spencer Rattler, the Giants. I should have picked the Saints. That's my one regret.
You shoulda.
I should have. Yep. And Rattler played a nice game. He's efficient. That's pretty crazy. So there's like weird shadows in here. Sorry. Just gonna hide over here.
No, it's...
How's this?
It's okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's so good, right?
Okay. Talked about Titans. Talked about Bucks. Kind of touched on
tonight's game.
But yeah, and we got tonight's game.
Yeah, you worry about the Lions secondary, but you had concerns about that coming into this game, right? Did you hear me?
Yeah,
no,
worried about the Lions secondary?
Yeah, they're banged up.
Yeah. I'm not too worried. The Lions will survive. They had one terrible quarter there in the fourth. Other than that, they did a pretty good job in this game. I think they fell victim to taking their foot off the gas. David Montgomery threw a touchdown. Jared Goff just 4 incompletions. I'm not worried about the Lions at all. There, I said it.
There you go. But it's again, like, I don't think
this game so Tom can get the fuck out of here.
I'm so sorry that this is such a pain in the ass. Like, this is ridiculous.
It's all right.
I don't even know if you hear me. I feel like this is like when you're doing a news report and there's such an active delay where like you finish the sentence and then there's like 3 seconds of,
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you look like you're about to film the Blair Witch Project right now. Where's your snotty nose? I need a snotty nose.
I'm so scared.
There you go.
So scared.
There you go.
Tonight, Jaguars and Chiefs.
Yay! Gonna be this might be a fun game. It's gonna go one of 2 ways. Jacksonville's gonna keep it close and they'll have a chance, or the Chiefs will prove they're fully back and they're gonna blow out the Jags. And all those great opportunistic turnovers, you gotta hope that your defense continues to like force all those turnovers and keep you in games that way. The Jags can run the ball. Chiefs are tough to run against, so I have concerns there. But yeah, let me see your defense get a couple turnovers against Kansas City, Jacksonville, and I'll be all in on you. And
I know Worthy was thank you, Ronte. It's not even me. I got an email. They were just like, oh yeah, we're doing work from 11 o'clock to 8 a.m. And guess what? It's noon and I still don't got any internet. So that's how things are going right now. That's how things are going. Yeah, the Chiefs here, Xavier Worthy, I know was questionable, but it seems like he is going to be playing today. Because if they didn't have him, then I'd be a little bit more concerned. But it's like you said, Jacksonville's defense is looking good. Their run game has been looking good. So if they're able to keep it close, things sitting a little pretty for Jacksonville right now. Yes. Again. Gotcha.
This is an odd season where I think I saw it was something about every team's lost. We haven't had a team. Usually, at least one team has a flawless record later than this into the season. So this is the earliest I think we've eliminated all undefeated records. Since I think it was to the 80s or 70s.
It's been a bit,
but it's anybody's freaking league right now. It is shaping up where we could have a very new and fun Super Bowl match. And I think I need Jacksonville to prove that the Chiefs aren't about to go on some tear. Because we don't have a clear number one team in the league right now, outside maybe the Detroit Lions at this point.
Well, I think it's also you look at the Chiefs. This is the team that I've been talking about. I was asked about this on Friday Night Q&A. The Chiefs are the team I'm probably the most, oh man, they could be really, really good. In which, if the way that offense looked last week, they get Rashee Rice back in a couple of weeks. If that offense is fully back, that defense is already really good. They could be a problem, and their stumbling out of the gate is in the beginning of the season might not matter, because if they start going on a tear, especially within the division we're talking about, the Chargers giving up that lead, you got the Broncos still hanging around there, but we'll see what happens. Leave Brittany alone.
They're making it interesting for the Chiefs right now. I know that.
Yeah.
Let down.
So I got the Chiefs winning, but I would be pleasantly surprised if the Jaguars are able to pull off a win tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Now we're back.
So sorry that this is my internet today. And by internet, I mean I don't have any.
We powered through. We should be given an award for making it through on 4G.
It has been 4G. Yeah. No, I thought I'd at least have 5G. I do not. No, I do not. Perna, what do you got coming out today, bud?
Posted a Mark Sanchez video that's already a little bit out of date because he has been hit with a felony charge. That wasn't initially there, but got a Sanchez video up, and The Broncos recap is up. Winners and losers tomorrow. Tom, you getting scripted up tonight if your internet returns?
If I got internet, I already started writing it because we started GPS late. So I'm on page 4 of the script already. So that's going nicely. But yeah, I'll have that. And I'll also be streaming tonight if my internet works. So let's see. We'll see.
ETN, go off. Go off, ETN. We'll take it.
Well, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Wednesday. Hopefully I'm at a desk. But yeah, I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. You've been navigated. Spectrum, why? Why do you do this to me?
And you've reached your destination.
Hell.